Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin.
When I look back on this year, I am dumbfounded. I'm amazed. I'm blown away. I'm grateful. I'm celebrating. I feel awake to all the abundance, all the support I've been given this whole time. It's been a magical 2021. There's no denying that. It was really hard at times. There were times where I felt really unsafe, really unsupported. But I have such deep clarity now. And at the time I'm recording this, it's November 2nd. So even though this is coming out at the very end of December, at the moment I'm recording this, it's a little bit earlier in the year. And actually, today is the day that Mercury went direct. And whether you are astrologically inclined or not, my chart is ruled by Mercury. And in addition to Mercury going direct, I've also had Jupiter and Saturn go direct in my sign. I'm an Aquarius and a Gemini rising. And so it's been a tumultuous retrograde cycle. And the Jupiter-Saturn retrogrades those both lasted I think 6 months. I'm not an astrological expert, but I believe that's about how long it lasted. And so for much of this year, I was going backwards in order to go forwards, mimicking the planets. And now it's like I've emerged and I can see so clearly what all of that was for. I want to start by saying, as of November 2nd, 2021, when I'm recording this, I've woken up to the fact that I've actually manifested nearly $300K in abundance this year. Now, disclaimer, that was not all from business. Some of that was from investments. Some of that was from gifts. Some of that was wedding abundance. But that was something I asked for, right? So from a pure abundance perspective, as of November 2nd, I'm actually on track to meet my overall abundance goal for 2021, which is exceeding $400,000 in 2021. And the clarity I have now is part of the reason why some of that abundance didn't show up directly in my business, was because I still had a lot of conflict in my business, internal conflict. So I had my heart-driven purpose, my soul-driven mission. It's what I've been doing since the inception of this podcast, and even before that, right? I've been really aligned with my vision for a long time, and yet there was still this childhood part of me that was not aligned with it. There was still this childhood part of me that did not want the abundance to come in the form of business. Because if it did, her deep fear was that she wouldn't be able to care for other people. her unconscious belief was that if I make so much abundance in my business, that means I don't care about people. And as we integrated her, my mentor and I, a huge opening was created. I just started to see the limitlessness of this universe, and I started to actually experience it directly. I mean, it was like the veil had been lifted and abundance was the only truth. And it had always been the only truth, but I could finally see it. I think we call that an ego death. And some would look at the past year that I've had and say, oh, well, you didn't accomplish your financial goals directly in business, so you failed. But that's bullshit. I manifested exactly what I had asked for. It came in a different form, yes, but that's the form I needed it to come in, right? So like, I had this realization today right before I hit record on this podcast. And that was that we can't create from an ego state. We can't manifest from an ego state. We can't manifest from a trauma state or from a childhood part. Those parts want to manifest because they want to get their needs met. But that's not pure intentions. The universe will not let us manifest from a childhood part or from an unconscious part that's trying to get a need met. It will only let us manifest from our soul. And so it's not that the universe is holding anything back for you. Actually, even before you ask, it has been given, right? That's a common manifestation mantra. I forget where exactly it comes from. I think it comes from Abraham or the Bible or something. I'm like terrible with Christianity and all of that. I need to know my quotes. So it's not that the universe is holding anything back from you, preventing you from actually receiving the abundance you're asking for. It's that if you're trying to manifest from a childhood part or from a trauma state or from an ego mind, then the universe will still give you what you're asking for, but it will give it to you in a different area of your life where you are operating from soul, where you are soul aligned and heart driven. So I was having this interesting phenomenon where I was receiving so much overflow and so much abundance, but it was coming in like weird and interesting ways and not directly in my business all the time, although for sure at times it was coming in my business. And now I completely understand why, because there was that internal conflict, that childhood part that could not feel safe receiving abundance in business, because then that would mean that she didn't care about people. And that went against her identity because she cares about people so deeply. And so she was in a distortion. She was in a dysfunctional pattern. And now that she's integrated, now that she's grown up, now that she's part of all of me, it's like I can't unsee what's possible in this universe. And it's magic. So this podcast is 100% for me, at least the first part of it. But in the second half, I do want to open it up and include you. I want to bring you into this process of celebration and acknowledgement of how far you've come. There's going to be unconscious parts of you that are going to want to say, oh, you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish this year, or you didn't manifest that thing that you wanted to manifest, or you failed, or you this, or you that, or blah, 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 blah. And what I want to invite you to do is to see if you can just notice where that part of you is. Is that buzzing in the head? Is it somewhere in the stomach or the heart space? Is it maybe in the lower back or the shoulders? Just notice where that part of you that's calling you a failure or telling you that you didn't achieve anything this year, just notice where that part is. And instead of being that part, being merged with that part, see if you can just identify the location of it. And so now you're not the part itself, but you're the awareness of that part. Just notice how spacious, or more spacious, it feels to be the awareness instead of the ego. If you are a coach or a healer that is tired of chasing after leads, tired of worrying about where your money's going to come from each month, and tired of using sleazy sales tactics that make you feel icky and make your audience feel icky, I have just the thing for you. So after working with over 100 coaches and healers, and also after observing what happened in my own business scaling journey, I realized that there is a massive upper limit to complicated strategies. And what I found was you don't really need complicated strategies to be able to market and sell your programs. At the end of the day, all you need are basic marketing and sales skills, and then it comes down to your energy and your mindset. And Divine Feminine Sales has you covered on all three. And honestly, the biggest thing I've learned about sales is when you are able to tap into this divine feminine energy that we all have inside of ourselves, regardless of how you identify or what your biological gender is. When we're able to tap into our divine feminine energy, you become a truly magnetic force for your soulmate clients. They can't help but be magnetized to you and to want to be in your energy and to join your programs. It's like being the host of the hottest party of the season that everyone wants an invitation to, except that party is your program, right? And how cool would it be to be in this place where you can just magnetically attract people and have those I want to work with you DMs every single day. All of this is possible for you when you join Divine Feminine Sales, and I have a special offer for you. If you'd like to try Module 1 of Divine Feminine Sales, you can do so for only $55. That's right, you can try Module 1 for only $55 at trydivine.com. And if you decide that you totally love Module 1 and you want to upgrade to the full program where you get live calls with me as well as Facebook group support, you can apply that same $55 to your full enrollment. How cool is that? So give us a try at trydivine.com. You will love Module 1. I take you through my offer creation framework, and you get to keep forever access to that. So that in and of itself is way, way, way worth the $55. Let's be real. Go to trydivine.com and let me know on Instagram if you sign up. I would love to celebrate you. All right, now back to the show. And the more you play with awareness, the more you stabilize your ability to tap into awareness, because the awareness is always there, right? Never goes away, never turns off, but we just lose access to it because of our egos and our conditioning. So the more you stabilize your ability to access the awareness that's always been there and always will be there, the less power your ego has. It's almost like the ego kind of like settles, relaxes, fades into the background, maybe disappears altogether. And it feels more spacious, it feels more open. And there's this deep sense of everything's okay. And so if you're following along with these awareness shifts with me, what I would invite you to do now is to ask yourself, what am I proud of that I did this year? What am I celebrating in myself this year? And I'm just going to speak from my awareness. I'm celebrating how vulnerable I allowed myself to get. I'm celebrating how deeply I went into my healing. I'm celebrating my devotion, my commitment, my blood, sweat, and tears, my refusal to give up on myself. I'm celebrating staying in my lane and keeping my head down and ignoring the triggering messages that surrounded me every single day on social media. I'm celebrating reclaiming my power, my voice, awakening to my infinite potential. I'm celebrating all the childhood parts of me that showed up to be healed and to grow up, and all the ones that weren't quite ready yet that are hanging in there with me. I'm celebrating my team. I'm celebrating this podcast. I'm celebrating the beautiful communities and programs that I've created. I'm celebrating my heart-driven mission, my soul-driven mission instead of my ego-driven mission. I'm celebrating the depth of acceptance I've created this year for myself. I'm celebrating my full expression. I'm celebrating my I don't give a fuck attitude. I know me. I know my truth. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about that. And I'm celebrating you, my listener. It's not easy to celebrate yourself, especially when so much of the industry only celebrates financials, right? Like, you notice I didn't say one thing about financials, although I have so much to celebrate financially. Truly, I've received so much abundance this year. It gives me chills. It makes my heart like swell with excitement at what's to come in 2022, because you know I'm going for that $1 million year. So the financial abundance, it makes my heart swell with so much joy and excitement. And yet I'm so much more proud of the non-financial things, because that was so much harder. And it was a daily choice to show up for me and no one else, and to do things for me and not to prove to anyone else. And so what can you celebrate in yourself that you did for yourself? Your commitment, your willingness to show up daily, your willingness to always learn, your willingness to grow, the fact that you didn't quit or give up, the fact that you're still listening even to this podcast episode. You are showing up for you. You have so much to celebrate, so much to be grateful for. And I want you to know that I am proud of all of the big and small changes you experienced this year. I am proud of you. If no one has said that to you, if you're still waiting for someone to acknowledge you and celebrate you and recognize you, let this land in your body. Listen with your whole body now. I am proud of you. I'm celebrating you. You have so much to be grateful for. So much greatness is yet to come for you. This is only the beginning. You've grown so much, and you are truly infinite. And even if you can't see it yet in yourself, I can see it in you. I can see your beauty. I can see your magic. I can see the love and the passion, the worthiness. You are so deeply worthy. And I am so proud of you for everything you did in 2021. Thank you. for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving a fuck. You are so important. So many people need you. They need your light. They need your love. They need your passion. They need your healing. They need your expression. They need your willingness to grow. And I'm just so grateful that you're here and that you're still showing up for you. And I'm letting my body absorb this message too. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I want to keep this one short and sweet, so I'm going to end it in just a minute. But we have some really exciting things coming in the new year for the Soul Expansion podcast. Our next episode is going to be about 2022 intention setting, business planning, and then upcoming episodes, we're going to be talking about new habits to start to implement to manifest your best year yet. We're going to be talking about so many other wonderful, exciting business mindset, manifestation, energetic trauma healing things. And I just can't wait to share it all with you. So thanks again for being here. Thank you so much for being a listener. And until next week, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart and appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.